The update for Battlefield 5 has dropped today, and many people are already complaining of some serious problems within the game. Now, for those of you that haven't downloaded it and maybe have downloaded it but haven't yet played the game, don't worry, you can still play Battlefield 5, and for the most part it's fairly similar to the experience you'd have had before the update. But the main problem is that most of the promises that DICE gave in terms of performance fixes and other updates haven't really come to the game, alongside this mega annoying and frustrating cosmetic drama that DICE themselves have simply caused because they didn't check things properly, and it's just another patch that hasn't gone out in the smoothest fashion at all. Now, when the update dropped, there were plenty of epic skins that were on offer for vehicles, and people thought they could purchase these with company coin. Many people jumped in there and bought as many as they could because it's vehicle cosmetics. It's what everybody has been waiting for, or at least people who play in vehicles have been waiting for. DICE then came out with an update saying that the vehicle customizations are being disabled for new purchases. They were not intended for release in this update and may appear unfinished and carry unexpected issues. Additionally, they were not intended for purchase with company coins. Now, I can kind of understand this from DICE because it's damage limitation at this point. The mistake has been made. They should not have released these skins. For whatever reason, they have been included, and people are really excited about this, so I suppose it does show in a way that Battlefield 5 still has the support of the community. And if DICE had left those skins in the game and owned their mistake, saying we shouldn't have dropped them in there, we have, now you can buy them with company coin, we've seen this before with the pit crew skin, we're just going to own this mistake and make new cosmetics to be purchasable with boins. But they didn't, and they very quickly removed those skins from the game, almost saying to people that we don't care what you think about this, we just are interested in getting these purchasable with boins and releasing them so we can earn the max amount of money from microtransactions, which is almost certainly what they're trying to do. And that's the whole point of cosmetics in Battlefield, to earn them additional money, considering we don't have paid DLC. But it's just a pain because the community are paying for a mistake that DICE have made. Overall, I would say that this patch is a bit of a fail. There's no real improvements to my performance. In fact, all the patch has done is ruin any of the performance patches that I had done myself, some little hooky workarounds to try and get the game to run better and more smoothly. Well, none of those work anymore, thanks to the fact that this patch has pretty much rendered most of them useless. So I'm going to have to find more workarounds and try and get the game to run smoothly, with stuttering and all of these other issues ruining my gaming experience. This vehicle customization issue is just typical Battlefield 5 DICE updates. I can't believe how bad they are. I made a video about this yesterday saying how great this patch could be and potentially act as a turning point for the game, but that's just not the case, and it really has made a lot of people angry, and including myself, I think, a lot of people disappointed. I'll just bring you back quickly to this game economy screenshot with the company coin and the Battlefield currency, and DICE really did not relay this information very well at all. Now, clearly what this should have said is company coin will purchase you your upgrades, weapons and vehicles, your new gear, weapons and vehicles, and then some cosmetic items. And then Battlefield currency will get you other cosmetic items. But what it really shows you is that Battlefield currency and company coin can compete with one another, so you can buy it with boins or you can buy it with company coins. That is not the case, and that is potentially the worst thing that Battlefield 5 has done so far, especially in terms of the cosmetics, because it's just crossed wires with people and it's just really not very ethical. In my opinion, I think that DICE needed to communicate this in a far simpler and far more accurate way, and then the fact that they didn't means that maybe they should have lost a little bit of their revenue and found another way to get money and just said to people, listen, you can get them with the company coins, we made another mistake. We're just going to save some face, save a bit of the support that we have left from the community, and just let this one go. But that's not what they've done, and the fact that they also managed to get this patch out incredibly quickly shows you that they are capable of bringing a patch within an hour, just only when it comes to microtransactions. Another few issues with the game that I've noticed, and I've clipped a couple of things from Reddit because I feel as if this showcases it better than I could. You have hitbox issues with planes that are not really supposed to be in the game. It's a shame, but they are there. Another patch that brings more bugs with it. The same can be said for tanks. There's lots of dusting and shots that don't count. Just for those people that didn't see how awesome some of the vehicle customization options were, I've included a few snippets of video from Crafter of Swords, a YouTuber that managed to snap some of these images before DICE patched it out of the game. Check it out. The full video is around 3 or 4 minutes long, can be found in the description down below. Check out Crafter of Swords, he's got some great Battlefield content over there, and as you can see, some of these are really awesome, and it would have been nice to have these in the game. It's what a lot of people have been waiting for. We've had a couple of other updates with interesting weapons dropping in. Here's a screenshot of something which I thought looked pretty cool, and then of course a few quality of life updates, as I like to call them, with these 2 screenshots of the planes and tanks that you can now spawn in, all in a list as opposed to only the 3 that you have set in your company. This is common sense stuff. It should have been in the game from the start, but at least it's in now and it makes things a little easier to play. Now, as usual with a video like this, it's a bit of a negative one, but I like including comments that have been upvoted from Reddit and other sections of the community. I think it gives a good impression of the understanding of this update and just the basic feeling in the community right now. Some of them are fairly funny, but for the most part I can say that people are really annoyed. They are frustrated that this has happened, not once, not twice, but multiple times in Battlefield 5. Not just in Battlefield, in purely Battlefield 5, a game that's not been out for that long. Battlefield 4, BF1, they've all had their issues. There are always updates that had bugs in them. It's just the way DICE work with this engine. Clearly, it's not a simple fix to get things to run smoothly. Even with the CTE, we saw problems in Battlefield 1, but in BF5, they've taken it to a new level. It's miles worse than it's previously been in Battlefield. And added into that, you have these cosmetic dramas. It's just amazing how wrong they've got cosmetics in Battlefield 5. You'd have thought they'd have learnt something from Battlefront 2 and all the issues you had in that game, but clearly not. And it's just going to be an uphill struggle from here on out. Firestorm has been disabled, or at least the matchmaking has. Not sure when that one will come back, but I'm hoping it'll be tomorrow. I say I'm hoping. I don't play Firestorm, but I know many people do, so it would be good to get that one back. It's another thing that broke in this update. You've also got issues with gun specializations in game. You can't change them apparently when you're in game, and people are experiencing really weird audio sounds through modes such as breakthrough, and enemies are partly invisible, and it could be connected to the cosmetic patch. I'm not too sure, but to be honest, it's just not good enough. Simply not good enough. A game that is this far into its live service, a live service that is supposed to improve the game patch on patch, cannot keep getting worse unless DICE plan to kill the game off, because that is what they're doing. It's really unfair on the community that have invested their money and time into the game, and it's just not acceptable for a AAA studio with the budget and the stuff that they have to keep failing to come up with the goods. I feel as if a change is needed, and I'd really like them to see this patch be the last one that is mediocre and just not up to scratch. Will they change things? Will it start to get better? I don't know, and I really don't know how they can change this, but I really feel as if it's something that has to, if Battlefield 5 is ever going to be a game that is considered a good Battlefield. One positive to take away from this, and I suppose it's a silver lining in a massive big thunderstorm, the best thing you can do is go back and play some of the older Battlefields. Now, I know I say this at the end of a lot of videos where I'm talking negatively about Battlefield 5, but those games are still there. Battlefield 1 is still there. It's worth playing. There are servers. It's quite fun. Battlefield 4, you know how I feel about that game. Whilst it's not ideal in its current state, it's still so much more fun than BF5, and even Battlefield 3. I see some streamers like Stoddy go back and play it from time to time. It's great fun. Just jump on, play some Rush, get to know what Battlefield is all about, and you really will have a better time on that than you might do in Battlefield 5 currently. So let me know in the comments what you think of the update. I can imagine there are going to be quite a few frustrated and annoyed players down in the comment section, but there we go. I'm happy to read through your comments. Just try and keep it clean if you can, because otherwise you'll get your comments blocked by YouTube. It does tend to drop in quite a few comments into the moderated section with these sort of negative videos. But there you go. I look forward to reading what you've got to say. Have you got any fixes? What do you think DICE could do to make this better? Have you got a workaround with the cosmetics if this inevitably happens again? Because 3 times in a row would maybe be too much for this game, and they've already had 2 massive cosmetic dramas. Let's see if they do make it 3 for 3 in the next update. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you are enjoying Battlefield 5 and this hasn't affected you too much, and I'll catch you in the next video.